let's get started. So welcome to our informational meeting for the town of Highgate.
Quickly, Vern, where's your flag?
I'm trying to bring it up and I can't figure out how to do it. I forgot.
Sorry, Sharon.
No problem.
I'm working on it.
So the first order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. So I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. First, do we have any public comment before we start the information meeting? Okay.
Yes,
So,
Sharon, if you don't mind, this is Representative Lisa Hango. I have some brief prepared remarks.
yes, please.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to address you all this evening, and thank you to the town officials for being so flexible and adapting to this COVID-19 situation around town meeting procedures. The legislature is continuing to also work remotely and likely will for the remainder of this session. The silver lining to our remote work is that we're able to attend more meetings locally. You all are just a click of a button away on my computer, something that isn't always possible when I spend my weeks in Montpelier. The downside to this is Zoom fatigue, which you probably all have. As a body, the General Assembly is working to ensure that Vermonters continue to receive assistance for a variety of issues that are compounded by the pandemic: small business relief, unemployment benefits, rental and utility assistance, food security, greater broadband capacity, increased COVID testing and vaccine distribution, and helping municipalities navigate this unprecedented town meeting schedule. In my committee in the House, it's General Housing and Military Affairs. We're working with the administration to properly allocate $200 million in rental and utility assistance for landlords and tenants that was passed by the federal government right at the end of 2020. And we continue to work with our community partners on long-term goals of ending homelessness and increasing the supply and affordability of our housing stock on a statewide level. We're taking up legislation to make small changes to liquor licensing statutes, such as continuing to allow alcoholic beverages to be sold with takeout meals, modernizing statutes pertaining to the National Guard, and improving on rental housing health and safety standards. And as part of my work, I'm one of a tripartisan group of legislators who founded the Legislative National Guard Caucus, and our work has been focused on supporting National Guard troops on their various deployments to the US Capitol, Europe, Africa, and the Middle East, as well as their mission at home to assemble COVID test kits, provide COVID testing, stand up and dismantle alternate ICU sites, and distribute food to our communities. We are grateful for their service and to the leadership of Major General Greg Knight, our Adjutant General, to successfully fulfill both their state and federal missions. Now, I want to thank you again for the opportunity to speak this evening and for the privilege to represent you in the legislature. I will be on for a little while, but have to jump off for another meeting in about a half an hour or so. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. Mr. Martin, would you be interested in speaking?
Well, I don't have prepared remarks, but I would be happy to speak. I just want to say it is an honor to serve all of the people of Highgate and the other towns that we serve. I am a freshman legislator, as you probably all know. So navigating the waters of Montpelier while being in my home in Franklin has been challenging, but very interesting all at the same time. Pleased to touch on a lot of the things that we are working on as a body, and maybe some of the things she's doing individually. I'm on the Commerce and Economic Development Committee, which has been working and taking a lot of testimony on COVID relief, and particularly around businesses, small businesses that were not able or were not eligible rather for some of the federal programs and maybe even some of the state programs that have been out in the past. It's been an interesting ride so far. I like it. It's fun. I'm an open book. I'm happy to speak with any of you or answer any questions that I might be able to between myself and Lisa. We can get you the answers you need, and we're both working hard for you in Montpelier. So happy to be at this meeting. Look forward to being here.
All right, thank you very much. So we'll begin.
Sharon, could we just go over a few functionality points just so people can participate? Just some points. Sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to make sure that everyone knows that there's a function on your panel under reactions. You can raise your hand if you want to talk, and that will make it easier so that people aren't speaking at the same time. And I think if you're participating by phone, it is under the chat button. If people don't want to talk, they can use the chat function as well. But everything will become a part of the public record. So those questions will come to me and I can read them out. So you're just as well off to raise your hand and let Sharon acknowledge you for questions. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll start with our town meeting warning. The legal voters of the town of Highgate, Vermont are hereby notified and warned to meet at the Highgate Sports Arena in the town of Highgate on Tuesday, March 2nd, 2021, between the hours of 7 o'clock in the forenoon, 7 a.m., at which time the polls will be open, and 7 o'clock in the evening, 7 p.m., at which time the polls will close to vote by Australian ballot upon the following articles of business. So folks, don't show up for a meeting. This is your Australian ballot due to the COVID state of emergency. Article 1, to elect the following town officers. A moderator for the ensuing year. 1 select board member for the term of 2 years. 1 select board member for the term of 3 years. 1 lister for the term of 3 years. 1 lister for the term of 2 years remaining on a 3-year term. 1 library trustee for the term of 5 years. 1 library trustee for the term of 4 years remaining on a 5-year term. And the last one, 1 cemetery commissioner for the term of 5 years. Article 2, shall the voters of the town of Highgate set the final date of payment for the financial year 2021/2022 property taxes to be Friday, October 29, 2021, with payments to be received in the town office by 4:30 p.m. Article 3, shall the voters of the town of Highgate reallocate the surplus of $26,157 from the 2010 tandem highway truck line item that's in the capital improvement plan, move that to the sidearm mower line within the capital improvement plan. Article 4, shall the voters of the town of Highgate appropriate $411,000 to meet the expenses and liabilities of the capital improvement plan with an estimated $411,000 to be raised by taxes. Article 5, shall the voters of the town of Highgate appropriate $888,128 to meet the expenses of the highway fund with an estimated $736,978 to be raised by taxes. And the last article, number 6, shall the voters of the town of Highgate appropriate $1,116,573 to meet the expenses and liabilities of the general fund, with an estimated $495,363 to be raised by taxes. Are there any questions about the town articles to be voted on? Okay. I would like to say that we do dedicate our town report to all of our essential workers. We are very thankful for those people that continue to work during COVID. And we are very thankful for those people that need to go to work every day, that keeps us safe, that keep us healthy. We thank you. You do a great job. We don't tell you. And I don't care if that's a truck driver, a grocery worker. Everybody's important. And this pandemic has certainly showed us that. You have in your town report a list of the total grants. But I'd like to go right to the capital improvement plan first, as that comes first in our articles. Luke, would you like to go over the capital improvement plan?
Page?
Yes.
43.
Yep.
Page 43.
Okay, I guess for the FY 21-22 year for the municipal complex, we got $5,000 towards the flooring in the town offices. And that's it for there. Parks and Rec Department. We've got another 5,000 towards the eventual replacement of the Zamboni. 5,000 towards the eventual replacement of the indoor turf. And 10,000 towards the arena parking lot, and that's more for paving around the new storage building that was put up this past year. And that's it for Parks and Recs. That comes up to a total of $20,000 there. The Highgate Public Library, we've got $25,000 allocated to eventual library relocation replacement building. And that's it for the Highgate Library. So that's going to be $25,000 there. The Highgate Volunteer Fire Department, we've got $25,000 towards an eventual replacement of the 1998 fire engine number 2. And that's it for the fire department. So that's $25,000 there. Public Works, Highway, we got $6,000 towards the replacement of our roadside mower. We got $4,000 towards the new sidearm mower for the new roadside tractor. We've got $30,000 towards the eventual replacement of the grader. 30,000 towards the replacement of our John Deere loader. 30,000 towards the replacement of the backhoe. 30,000 towards the replacement of the 2014 Western Star tandem truck. 10,000 towards the 2015 Ford F-550 compact dump truck. 45,000 towards the replacement of the 2016 International single axle truck. And that comes up to a total of $185,000 for the Public Works Highway Department. Okay. In and around town capital budgets. That one, we've got $131,000 towards hopefully the eventual stabilization of the Macy roadside slide. And 20,000 towards the storm water grant match. That comes up to a total for the town projects of 151,000. With the other departments included, it's a total of $411,000 for the capital improvement budget.
Thank you very much, Luke. Luke is our chairman of our planning commission, and he and his fellow members did a great job along with our treasurer, Shelley, to go through this budget line by line and make sure that these numbers are justified. The select board takes a lot of time to go through these budgets, and we try not to overburden our taxpayers. So one thing on this capital improvement budget, in the article that I spoke about earlier, we are asking for the surplus from the 2010 tandem highway truck line to be moved to the sidearm mower line. So that means that when we bought our new truck, we had that money left over, and it requires a town vote in order to move that money around in the capital improvement plan. So we are asking for permission to change that money's position. We also have chosen to concentrate on one of our larger projects by asking for $131,000 to go toward the Macy Road. The Macy Road, unfortunately, would like to slide into the river. And since the project has become more of a financial burden than we expected, we asked the town for this money. So I'll open it up to any questions or comments on the capital improvement budget. Easy crowd. Okay.
Silence is golden.
That's right. So I'm assuming that we don't always care so much about the revenue of the town, but we are interested in the expenses. So I will open it up. Does anyone have any questions on the revenue on the town report? Okay, so moving on to expenditures. We'll go page by page. We'll start on page 49. We have the select board, the stipends, and the Social Security and Medicare that's taken out of those stipends is a decrease of $500 because we're taking out the professional services. Town administrator. That is going up $1,142. That includes, well, town administration, sorry. That includes town administrator, public meeting clerk, which is Wendy, your zoning administrator, which we are currently on the look for, grant administrator, insurance, retirement contributions, professional development, and travel expenses. That line item is up $1,142. The town clerk, which is salary, insurance, Medicare, retirement, professional duties, election expenses, professional development, and travel, up $847. Are there any questions on those expenditures?
See where it goes up 800, looks like more.
Pardon me, say that again, Richard?
Which lines are you getting? Is it, you're going actual FY9? It's supposed to be 2020. It says 1920. And the increase is the budget for 2021.
Yes.
That's closer to $3,000. 4,000 actually. 62,074 and 66,783 is over $4,000. Or am I on the wrong line?
I think you're going back too many years, Richard. The
Okay.
$62,074
Yes.
is how we actually ended last year.
Okay.
The next line over is the budget we're currently in, what we
Okay.
budgeted.
Oh, I see. You gotta go.
The next line over that is our year to date,
Yes.
where we were when we went to print. And then Sharon's going over the second to last column, the proposed budget.
Okay, I can see it now.
And then the total budget change is from what we budgeted 2021, the budget we are in, to the proposed budget that we're bringing forward at town meeting.
Yep.
Okay,
You steered me in the right direction.
perfect.
Oh, good. All right, any other questions there? Moving on to page 50. So listers. Listers are up over last year's budget, $1,055. That includes salaries, Medicare, professional dues, professional development, technical services, and expenses, travel expenses. Town treasurer, which includes salary, insurance buyout, Medicare, contribution, retirement contributions, professional dues, professional development, travel expenses, is up $963. Delinquent tax collector, which is Shelley, is down $3,386. Animal control, which is compensation, Medicare, impound animal expenses, travel expenses, is down $1,103. Health officer, her stipend Medicare, Social Security, professional development, professional services, and travel expenses up $1,654. Planning Commission, stipends, Medicare, professional development up $220. Any questions on that page? Page 51. Thank you for coming, Lisa. Page 51, development review, up 200.
Sharon, I'm sorry to interrupt. There is a hand up.
Okay.
There is not a name attached to it, so it just is recognized as iPhone. So please go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, Heidi. This is Rebecca.
Oh,
I was
great.
wondering why the delinquent tax collector is down so much. That's a lot.
Because the amount of delinquent taxes continues to go down, Rebecca. So I get paid for what I collect on the outstanding balance, 8%. And as that delinquent balance continues to go down, so doesn't the 8%.
Well, good job. Sorry about that.
Yeah, thanks.
No. Yeah, good for the town, not necessarily good for Shelley. Okay, any other questions? All right. Page 51. Development Review Board, up $220. Public Safety and Services, that includes your ambulance dispatch fee, your police patrol services, and your solid waste membership. Because we are a member of the Northwest Solid Waste District. That is up $9,195. Cultural services. The Highgate Historical Society, Memorial Day Committee, the Summer Sounds Concert Series, any holiday expenses that we have, and the Highgate Little League. That is up $250. Our social services appropriations, we give to the following: Franklin County Home Health, Vermont Council of Rural Development, Vermont Center of Independent Living. The American Red Cross did not choose to put in for money this year. The Franklin County Development Committee, CVAA Age Well, which is the like Meals on Wheels programs, the Northwest Special Investigation Unit, which handles child abuse, the Association for the Blind, Vermont Adult Learning, Tim's House, the Vermont Green Up Program, Friends of Lake Champlain, Green Mountain Transit, Laura's House, CVOEO did not make a request this year. Vermont Rural Fire Protection and the Vermont Family Network. Shelley, can you tell us how these people get on this list?
Most of them know to contact the town in the fall when it's budgeting season. But there is our appropriation policy, and the petition, if required, is on our website for any social service business to look at if they wanted to, but they have to send a letter and they have to tell us what they've done specifically for the town of Highgate. If it's over $1,000, they need to petition a certain percentage of our town voters. And if it is under 1,000, it's brought to the select board and added into the budget to be approved at town meeting automatically.
Okay. So that line item is up $7,223.
And that's a little misleading because this year the select board opted to waive the petition for the few social service appropriation that have done appropriate petitions in the past to bring to town meeting day. That would be Franklin County Home Health. And the second one was the Northwest Unit for Special Investigation. Both of those were over 1,000. Northwest Unit for Special Investigation in the past had not been over 1,000, so they had always been included in this budget. But the Franklin County Home Health had always been on our warning. So if you look at years past, that $7,424 is the same. So it's not necessarily more than years past. It's just been included in the budget and not on the warning.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions on page 51?
Sharon, real quick, the police patrol services increase, is that a contractual increase or is there another reason?
That is a contractual increase. And we have made the obligation to not keep the same budget because it would mean that much less hours. It was a substantial increase. So we chose to split it in the middle and go up a little and go down a couple of hours. We were very happy with the St. Albans Police Department for our services. So we chose that direction. Any other questions? How about the person that's on Motorola Edge? Can you unmute yourself and ask a question?
I'm all set.
Okay.
That was an accident.
All right. No problem. Okay, so if no questions on 51, we'll go to 52. So town operations, which includes consulting, professional audit, legal services, technical services,
We should have
custodial
gotten a
services.
copy of the report because they're going through it page by page.
Barbara, I'm going to mute you until you have a question. Is that okay? Okay.
Okay,
Sorry.
so town operations. Building and grounds maintenance, equipment maintenance, our passive insurance, workman's comp insurance, unemployment, communications, postage, advertising, printing and binding, NRPC dues, VLTC dues, Franklin County assessment, natural gas, electricity, general supplies, furniture, tax abatement, other expenses, grant expenses, and equipment grant. It is up $2,305. Department transfers. It's not really up or down, is it really, Shelley? That's just the transfers from.
That's what we're looking to approve. So
Yes.
it's what everything gets funneled through the general fund and then it gets transferred to its appropriate fund after it's been approved.
Right. Okay, so any questions about the town operations?
Actually, you were pretty close to zero if it wasn't for the tax abatement number.
Right.
Pretty darn close. Did well.
yes, I have to say that all of our groups, committees, select board members, everybody did really well at trying to hold the line the best they could. We don't take your money lightly. We do try to be cautious with it. So I will go on to the fire department. The fire department is requesting an additional $10,708 or $787 from last year. We found that we did not have sprinklers in our fire department, which is $7,500 of that increase. We are also asking for $1,000 in outreach and support for when our members must deal with a tragic incident, such as when David Roddy was killed and our folks were on the scene. We had people that required some assistance, and we're trying to make sure that no matter what, they have the emotional support that they need. And they have a professional that is set up to deal with that in ways that we can't imagine. So that's the biggest asks for the fire department, is that we make it safe by having sprinklers, and that we take care of our people by offering them outreach and support. Do we have any questions about the fire department budget? Okay, on to page 54. The cemetery. The cemetery is asking for an additional $500 over last year's budget. And that is for cemetery repair and fence repair. So stone repair, I'm assuming, and fence repair. Parks and Recs. Revenue, no, we don't need. Okay, so Parks and Rec, if we go down to the expenditures, they are asking for $6,050 more than they did last year. And $5,500 of that is for buildings and ground maintenance. And Shelley, correct me if I'm wrong, but is that to do with the maintaining the fields?
They wanted to redo the ball fields one at a time as money allowed, make them as nice as they can for the ball kids.
Okay.
I believe it was for the infield maintenance, not the grassy outfield area.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Thank you, Ty. Preservation and computerization funds. We're asking for $10,000. And Wendy, I'd let you take that one.
I can speak for Wendy. I'm not sure she was planning on talking this evening. Computerization and preservation fees come from all of the recording that Wendy does at the town. So that is money that is not taxpayer dollars and is set aside that can only be used on preservation and computerization for town, either land records or digitizing maps, our computer system. So that's not, it's there to show you for to be transparent, but it's not taxpayer dollars.
Okay, perfect. Any questions on page 54?
Real quick, Sharon, it looks like in the interest of accuracy, it looks like that Parks and Rec increase is not accurate. It's off by a couple $100. Really doesn't make a whole lot.
I would agree with that.
Sorry, Andy.
No worries. I just noticed it. Sorry.
That's okay.
No, that was a good catch.
Yep. Can't be perfect every day.
That's right.
So what's the actual number?
Close enough. 6388. Approximately.
Yep. Okay, so an additional $388. Any other questions or comments on page 54? Page 55, the library. Okay, the library is asking for $387 less than they did last year. By the way, we do have our new librarian on with us, Ada, and she is doing a fantastic job. Please stop in the library and check out how nice and friendly she is. And I'm sure she can help you find a book too. The reason that theirs are asking for less money is in part due to their group insurance and some that they have taken off their summer programs, which I know they are working hard to get as many grants as they can. So that's a great help to the town budget as well. Any questions about the library?
So just to clarify on that insurance, Sharon, the library does not have cheaper insurance than the rest of the town. The previous librarians have taken the town health insurance and not the insurance buyout. Our current librarian has chosen to take the buyout and not the group health insurance offered by the town. So it is a significant savings to the town.
Okay.
Sharon, there's iPhone has a hand up. Is that Rebecca?
That is Rebecca.
That's me. I just wanted to say how much we have loved having Ada here with us and to really jump in and say that she's done a great job applying for and receiving grants. And so that's wonderful for the library and it's great for the town as well. And I wanted to give her a pat on the back for that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So see, now you got to go and check out this new face at the library. Okay. If there are no questions, on to page 56. The arena. The arena is asking for $791 less than they did last year. Ty, can you speak to the situation at the arena?
I don't have the book in front of me, but currently we have a part-time program coordinator on staff. Lee started in January. He's doing a really good job. Hoping to bring back a summer camp that we've haven't had for a number of years that we had back when we had a full-time arena director. And we hope to make that in the next fiscal year budget, make that position a full-time position. I don't know any other specific questions, but
So Ty, I'm gonna play the bad person. For those people that say, well, geez, the arena didn't do much this year because of COVID. Can you tell us what we did do?
we did we have been open for ice season. We've been shut down a couple different times from the state level. We started games again 2 weekends ago. High school wraps up their season around the 23rd of March. We plan on taking ice out 25th of March, thereabouts. Lee's working on getting turf scheduled for April 1st timeframe. And we hope that the governor keeps opening up that spigot little by little, and we can get a ton of stuff going for spring and summer. We were lucky we got all of last ice season in right in time before the COVID happened. And we keep going with the guidelines, and as quick as we can offer something, we do. During the shutdown, when the governor closed us down for organized sports, we were able to offer private family rentals. We gave the option that a single family could rent an hour of ice for the whole sheet or a half a sheet, and we could get 2 families in it. We got a lot of interest there to bring in some lost revenue because we were shut down to organize sports. So, we were able to do our cornhole league late summer with with all the COVID guidelines in place. But
So in other words, you guys worked really hard to obey the governor's emergency orders, but still allow the children and adults to come together and use the recreational facility as best you could.
that was our goal, yes.
I think you did a great job with what you had to work with the rules changing every week. I think you all did a great job. Rebecca?
Ty, you probably don't hear it enough, but Sharon's right. You guys have worked really hard and you've done a good job, and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, any questions about that arena budget? Okay. Capital improvement plan, we went through that already. I will tell you that the capital improvement plan puts the highway department, the fire department, hopefully the arena on track for saving for the future for their major purchases. I can tell you that we shorted the in and about town. We did it on purpose. We have large projects going, but we do understand that we can't tax the public to death. So we're trying to do it in a mindful way and try to save ahead for those projects as well. Any other questions about page 57? Okay. Page 58. Oh boy, Butch, hold your breath. All right, so the Public Works is asking for $70,999 above last year's budget. There are a number of reasons for that request. Some just in the fact that we've been squeaking by on budgets for the highway department. We need more gravel. We need more items. It's just a difficult situation. We need. But I can tell you that we've been through it several times with a fine tooth comb and took out everything we thought we could live without. The addition to the Public Works Department, we have a large chunk in the buildings and grounds because they didn't have a sprinkler system either. So in an attempt to make our building safe, we are asking to put a sprinkler system in both the fire department side and the highway department side. That's $6,500. We are asking for additional monies in the maintenance of our equipment, because if we are asking our equipment to last more years, it needs to be able to fund more maintenance. So in order to keep with the rising cost of maintenance and the idea of stretching out our equipment a little bit longer, we've added maintenance money. We also have added communication money. Our trucks go in places that they can't always contact each other. There are too many dead spots. We want our town crews to be able to speak to each other as a part of their safety and the safety of the roads. Our biggest ask is for an additional $20,000.
What?
I just need you to in stone and gravel. Our roads need more maintenance. Paving materials, we're asking for additional $18,000. And that's basically because of the increase in costs that we cannot control. We need additional funds to make sure we can maintain the roads that we have. The same would go for the line item for crack sealing, which is an additional $10,000. We need to be able to seal coat some of these cracks so that they don't lead to early repaving needs. Butch, do you want to speak to any of this? Is there anything you'd like to add to that?
Oh, I think you've covered everyone real good, Sharon. I have nothing to add at this time, I guess.
Okay. Do we have any questions about the highway budget?
Just a comment. Your biggest increase is because of the road, the paving, and your stone and your crack seal is a good 60-70% of what your increase. You only, if you had cut those out, you'd been at $20,000.
Right.
21,000. So it's it's material cost that's driving this up the most.
Yes. And we're very fortunate because we still have sand available on the property that was donated to us. And Butch, do you think we have another year of that property?
We're hoping to at least 2, possibly 3, but at least 2.
Okay. So that saves us a great deal of money right there as well.
And then with the testing that we're okay to approve to do some testing, we can dig some test pits and hopefully we can find a few more years.
That would be great. Any other questions about the highway budget?
I have a question, Sharon.
Absolutely.
Has anyone checked with the insurance company about the potential savings if we are allowed to put sprinklers in both the town, the public works and the fire department? What kind of savings there would be for fire insurance? If there would be, you would think there would be, but.
Go ahead, Shelley.
I haven't checked. I honestly am surprised. Heidi, were they not the ones that mentioned we didn't have it? Our insurance company comes and does a walkthrough every single year on loss prevention. Or risk management. Were they the ones that pointed it out, Heidi?
Surprisingly, they were not. They do come and do a visit every year. We actually discovered it when the fire panel that we have now could no longer be programmed because it was too old. They would not work on it anymore. So when we came to do a replacement of that, Joe DePady was the one that brought it to my attention. I think that he realized that the building is inadequately covered. But I will say the insurance company did just award us $5,000 towards the cost of the system through their equipment grant. So, and we can certainly follow up and see if there is any change in insurance, but I'm not sure that there would be, because I think the assumption was that we had a better system than we did.
Yeah. Last question. There's a dry hydrant to the insurance company, at least on residential, is considered the same thing as a wet or live hydrant, if you will, within 500 feet of a dwelling. Now the frog pond and to the fire station is within 500 feet. There's generally a discount there as well through insurance companies. So I wonder if we might want to look into that as well.
I'll make a note.
Thank you.
Also, I'll look at the policy more closely too tomorrow, Kyle, because it's, what do they call? We might be getting a good rate already, but I'll look into it and get back with you.
You're probably absolutely right. I know when I lived in Franklin, we put a dry hydrant off a frog pond and it was substantially cheaper for fire insurance. I was just curious.
Good point.
Great point. Okay, last call for the highway department.
Hey, it's Ryan Maskell.
Yes.
Hey, I was just wondering with Butch, what projects we were looking to take on this year on the highway side, what roads or what?
Okay, as far as we'll start with the paving. The paving would be all of Lampkin Street, in town, the little short streets, Cross Street, Decatur Street, Mill Hill, which is in front of the library, and the top of Mill Hill, the hill itself down to the bridge, that was done a few years ago. So it would just be in front of the library, around the Flatiron Park, and School Street. That would take our whole paving budget. And the gravel, we haven't set no real final project for the increase in the gravel. Is just kind of spreading it around town. I would like to put a little more on the Tart Road and the Cassidy Road. That will be and a little bit more on the Durkee Road too. And then the rest will be just trying to keep up with what we have. Culverts, we've got a lot of culvert work to do, one on the Gore. We've got a few grant projects in progress right now, one on the Rollo and one on Rice Hill Road. Some ditching that'll be on the Cassidy and Durkee.
You've also applied for funding to pave the section on Macy Road from the bridge.
Yes.
So those, we won't know about that until probably July.
When you do Lambkin, are you going to be pulling the shoulders off like you did the Gore?
Yes. And there may be a little consideration that I guess we have to look at the sidewalk from the church back to Mill Hill. There's a little dirt strip in there. We just started talking about, are we going to pave to the sidewalk or leave it a little dirt strip? Is something that we need to address before July. Because there's no blacktop. There's a foot or 2 or 3 between the blacktop and the sidewalk. So personally, I'd like to see it blacktop to the driveway or the sidewalk, but I don't know the rules on that. We're looking into it.
You can mute it and stop the video there, okay?
Well, thank you, Butch. I appreciate it.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay. Any other questions? Ryan, you got another question?
No, I'll shut it down.
Not a problem. That concludes our budget. I want to thank everyone for all their hard work. Shelley, you did great. Thank you for the help. Wendy, Heidi, Vern, Bruce, Butch, all the committee members. We couldn't do this without you, and we're grateful for the time you put in it.
Vern has his hand up.
No, I was just doing a reaction, just the thumbs up, virtual thumbs up. That's all.
Oh, thumbs up. Sorry, I couldn't see it.
Thumbs up.
Any other questions? Henry, you must have a question.
No, I came in late,
Oh.
so
The biggest change is the highway department.
well, I'll keep looking at the book. Like I said, I came in late, forgot all about it. I was doing paperwork and Wendy sent me a text, "Are you on here?" And I said, "Oh, I forgot all about it."
And you were elected too.
Oh, thanks.
The
What happens if you
video,
don't show up?
That's what happens.
the video will be available tomorrow.
Yes,
Keep
okay.
up the good work, everybody.
All right, so unless one of the select board members has something to offer, anybody want to speak? I take that as no. Vern, I see you unmuted.
I'm just unmuted, but I just say thank you, Sheriff, for taking the lead on this and
Oh, not a problem.
direction. The big thing when I came on board last year was for me was keeping the tax burden down on the taxpayers. And it's my first time doing this. It's quite a bit of work, but I think we did a good job holding the line. Especially this year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a hard year for everybody, and go and get your vaccines and stay safe. And we respectfully ask the voters and the residents of the town of Highgate to support our budget. There has been a lot of work into it, and we don't give everybody what they necessarily want, but we try to be fair to everybody, including the voter and the taxpayers. So we are going to end the budget meeting and go into our regular select board meeting to deal with a few items. You're welcome to stay, but thank you for attending. Okay. Shelley, you want to start?
I can start. You all saw the check warrant.
Yes.
Yes.
Any questions?
Only one. Butch, what did we have for a bill on the little Ford?
Where did it go?
Yeah, I guess you lost me, Sharon.
Was that a Clark's or where did the truck go?
Down to Barrett's, maybe? Was there a $700 bill on it?
Let's find it.
That was a inspection. Yeah, it was Coda, Shelley.
Oh,
Quotas.
That was front end and inspection.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to think a minute.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm sneaky. I spring things on you.
I was just a little one. But they'll add up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, $1,017.82. Upper ball joint, lower ball joint, alignment, inspection. I don't know what that is. Maybe a light bulb, LED something.
Yeah.
Battery cable connector. They had quite a few little, all the little things that added up.
Yep.
Hose clamps, antifreeze, power cable, truck side wire.
Yeah, it was a plow. The plow wire we had to get
Yeah.
a new harness.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions on the check warrant? Okay, if not, can I have a motion to sign the check warrant at a later date, but allow Shelley to send the checks?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
A couple other things. The Climate Systems Incorporated maintenance agreement I had put in SharePoint for you all to see. It's very one-page, straightforward. They come in the spring and they come in the fall and they maintain our air system. The price hasn't changed. Not sure if you want to make a motion for me to sign it, or I can run it down to Sharon tomorrow. It doesn't matter to me one way or another. If you approve it.
Can I have a motion?
So, pardon me.
Yep.
Sounds like we need a motion to approve the expenditure and for Shelley to sign for it.
There's no expenditure yet. It is just their maintenance agreement. Do we want them to come? Basically, are we going to contract with them to come in the fall and the spring of this fiscal year? March 1st, 2021 through February 28, 2022.
So the motion would be to approve their contract.
Yes.
It's $548 each time they come, for a total of $1,096. That price has been the same for several years.
All right. Wendy, you got that motion?
Yep, I'm all over it.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, can I have a motion for giving Shelley permission to sign that contract?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, I'll get that back to them tomorrow. Also, Nemrick sent their software license agreement as well as the software support agreement. We received a letter from them back at the beginning of the fiscal year stating that this is what was, they were raising the price, which is why we upped our technical line item in the town operations section of our budget. So this was about $1,800 a year, and it jumped up to $5,000 a year. It had been at $1,800 for, I think, since they started in the early 2000s. So we did
The eyes. The eyes.
We did budget for this price difference, and now we are seeing the contract. I will need also a motion to approve that. This software is used by the listers, the town clerk, myself. It runs everything we do in the town office pretty much, besides land records.
Okay, do I have a motion to accept that agreement?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
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 And then same, I can sign it with a motion, or I can run it down to Sharon to sign it.
Yeah. Do I have a motion for? Go ahead, Bruce.
Well, you, okay, move to approve to have Shelley sign.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Come on, Vern.
I was waiting for Kyle.
He's almost asleep.
Hey, Kyle, come on.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. Anything else, Shelley? Oh, Shelley froze. Uh-oh.
I think she's roughing somebody out.
Those eyes just caught up with the internet.
All right, we're gonna assume that Shelley's okay. If she's not, Shelley just interrupt us after. Wendy.
Hello.
Hello.
I'll be quick. You have minutes from February 4th.
Okay. Everyone had a chance to look at the minutes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, can I have a motion to sign the minutes from February? Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. Just a quick recap, town meeting is a week away. As a reminder, Shelley and I will be at the arena from 7 to 7 for those that choose to want to vote in person. Absentees have been going out the door and coming back pretty rapidly. I think we'll be over 200 by town meeting day of absentees, which is nice.
Yeah.
There's still plenty of time. And I'm finding that most people are returning them in the Dropbox. So they're getting back to me quickly and safely, but it's your choice. You can also mail them. The appointed positions you'll be appointing starting at your next meeting on March 4th. So I'm asking for letters of interest for the list of appointed positions by this Friday, February 26th. I have quite a few already. The list is published all over on the website, the Facebook page around town, or just give me a call if you're wondering what's available. I think that's it for me.
Okay, thank you. All right, Heidi.
Okay, jumping right in. So the AOT annual financial papers are out. They're announcing the next grant round, which we already have our applications in from last year that were frozen when they put a stop to the budget. So Butch already mentioned those applications that are pending, but you do need to sign a copy of the annual financial plan, which is your certification that you put a certain amount of money into the roads yourself to become eligible for the grant funding, as well as the road standards that certifies when you complete a project, you complete it to the acceptable standard. So those two documents have to be typically signed by the whole select board, but I'm asking that you make a motion to have Sharon sign it on behalf of the select board because of COVID restrictions, so I can get that back in, please.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Yes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Wendy, I'll let you figure that one out.
Who's got the quarter? Flip it.
I'll do it, yep.
So I'm assuming that motion covered both of those forms, the financial plan and the road standards.
Yes.
Okay. And the annual mileage certificate, I had you sign that.
Hold it. All those in favor say aye.
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 All right, now you can go.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so the annual mileage certificate, I had you sign that at the last meeting, but I put an amended copy in there because AOT informed me that the changes that I mentioned to you at the meeting, because of the realignment of the Macy Road at the B25 bridge, changed your mileage. So there is the form in there that indicates the new mileage. Rather than class 2 20.97 miles, you have 20.94 miles of class 2 road, and class 4 went up because it actually extended the Pines Plains Road. So you went from 3.98 miles to 4.01 miles. You don't have to do anything. They already have this. I just wanted to put it in front of you so you understood that there was a change after it had been presented to you.
Okay.
Heidi, Shelley said she's in the waiting room.
Oh, thank you. Okay, Shelley's coming back in. So the FEMA transfer station, this is the A&R grant that I sent you. a copy of the application for. This is the Clean Water State Revolving Loan Fund, and this could be used to cover your local match for the FEMA grants for the transfer station stabilization project. So that FEMA grant that you signed the match agreement for at the last meeting, town is on the hook for a 25% match. So that comes to $717,000. So this is an opportunity for a 2% loan to spread that over multiple years, up to 20 years. And it also puts you in a position to be considered for the state's Whisper program. And that would put us in a pool of towns that could be considered for sponsorship, which would mean 100% forgiveness on the loan. So I'm asking you to allow me to submit that application. No signature is necessary. It's an eligibility application to get us on the priority list. And that was in your packet.
And Heidi, if things go differently, can we back out of that loan?
Yes.
Okay, so we are not obligated to take a loan.
This is just an application to get on that priority list and hopefully find us a sponsor.
Right.
So you're not committing to anything. That's why there's no signature required. This isn't a contract. It's you being reviewed for eligibility. Does that make sense?
Yes. I just wanted to clarify that. Any questions, concerns about that? Do we understand what she's talking about by having the town be sponsored? Okay, so do we have a motion to send that application in for eligibility?
I'll make that.
Okay, Vern, you could second.
I'll second that one.
All right. Bruce, I'll get you next time.
No problem.
All those in favor say aye.
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 I do have the FEMA home buyout form completed that you could approve for me. I sent it to you late because I just got it from Stephanie today. So if you aren't comfortable with that, I can push it out to the next meeting. But it's pretty straightforward. I can put it up on the screen if you'd like to see it, or if you just want to wait, we can wait until the meeting on the 4th.
The town's under no obligation for that FEMA home buyout, correct? That is basically the federal government and the homeowner, and we're just a facilitator.
Yes, correct. The town will not be contributing any money, just my hours.
Yeah. I would suggest we have Heidi sign it and get that rolling, because we don't know what the spring will bring to those people.
I will actually bring it to you, Sharon. It's made out in your name, so I'll bring several documents to you tomorrow.
All right, that's fine. Will we have a motion to sign the FEMA home buyout, or would you like to prolong it?
Go back to find this thing. I would move to have it signed.
Okay,
Post haste.
do I have a second?
Second.
Any more discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. Our USDA rural development grant for economic development planning. is rolling forward. The planning commission met and did perform interviews, and they selected EPR, the same consultants that did our airport study for us. And we have a kickoff meeting scheduled for March 16th. And I have a contract in your packet for approval. It's a total grant of $15,000.
Has everyone had a chance to look at that?
I have.
I'm looking right now.
Yes,
Okay. Do we have a motion to accept that contract?
I'll sponsor that motion.
Okay. Do I have a second?
second,
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 aye,
The last three things I put under select board items. There was a vending application, a road name request, and a certificate of approved location request. Do you want me to explain those, or are you?
Go ahead with them. Just do.
Sorry. So the Tyler Place had applied for creative ways to overcome the space restrictions for COVID in their cafeteria. So they've established some permanent trailers that they will use to serve their guests. It's not open to the public. It's just another way for them to have people not be in the dining room. So they went through the review process with the DRB. All the information is in your packet. They have some nice images that depict the location. And all the considerations have already been looked at as a part of the DRB process. But you do have a vending ordinance. So it's before the select board to either approve that or not.
And they might not have had to go before the select board, but I asked Heidi to bring it here because everyone else has to do it. So we want everybody treated fairly. Everybody has the same process.
It's not the same situation though, is it, Sharon, as far as?
It's not as far as they're an Act 250 permit, so to DRB for other reasons, not just for the vending permit.
Right. But I just look at the vending permit as there's not going to be any extra traffic because they're already there.
Right.
They're not open to the public. So I would question why they would need a vending permit if it's already been through the DRB. If it was open for public, then of course, but it's not. It's already prepaid guest.
Yeah, I think it was just put under as a vending permit.
I see.
Not that it wasn't exactly like you said.
Yeah.
Private. I think it was just a label thing.
Okay.
So do we have a motion to accept that?
so moved,
We have a second.
Second.
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
aye,
And would you like the Tyler Place to pay that fee? It's a $15 fee. They have already paid a $250 fee, I believe, to be reviewed. So,
Yeah, I'm fine with waiving the fee since they had to already pay for the the review. What's everybody else think?
Oh, I agree with you.
It's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a question on that vending policy. Is that on the radar to get reviewed and updated?
As a matter of fact, it is.
Okay. Thank
If
you.
you have any suggestions, please forward them. We're gonna look at a draft at the next planning commission meeting.
Perfect. Thank you.
There was a road name request from developer Michael Jarvis for development off from Lambkin Street, which will be an extension of Meadow Lane. The maps and the application were in your packet. He's asking for approval of the name Wood Lane, and its number on your road inventory would be 111.
Heidi, did Amy see that?
Yes, she
As the
did.
listener? So the
In
non.
the end, I believe Butch have reviewed it already.
Okay. So, yay or nay?
Need a motion, Sharon?
Yep.
I'll make the motion to allow them to name it. Whatever it was, Wood Lane or whatever.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, next.
The Vincents, owners of Ray's Auto and Salvage on Route 78, has to apply to you annually for a certificate of approval of patients so they can get their permit to operate a salvage yard. So there was a draft letter in your packet made out to the Vincents, and it has some of the details of their business. And it is before the select board for approval, please.
So the DRB has looked at this and has approved it. Is that correct, Andy?
That is correct.
So do I have a motion to sign the letter for the Vincents to allow them to continue on with their business?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 That was excellent. That's the end of my list. I have one more item for executive personnel issue.
Okay, so speaking of personnel, as you all know, we have lost our zoning administrator again. So Heidi has reached out to Northwest Regional Planning. We had talked before about perhaps they would be interested in employing a zoning administrator for several towns that the towns could share. So she is looking into that as a possible option. In the meantime, Wendy and Rick have been taking up the slack. So we thank you very much for doing that, Wendy. So that is the status there. All right. Are there any other questions for the select board before we end the regular meeting?
Can I ask how come there's so much turnover in that position?
First, I think I will say that it's a lot to learn, and it's been difficult, especially during COVID, to get a lot of support training for that position. Second, it's a part-time position. So it takes a certain person that doesn't need a full-time job. The other is that there are some personalities that are not strong enough to withstand some of the criticism and grief that comes their way in that position. So unfortunately, it's a tough situation. You have to have tough, a pretty tough skin to have that job, and with the lack of training right now too, I think it's a compound of issues, unfortunately.
Thank you.
Butch?
Well, I see Henry's still here with us. We have a question that has to be addressed. We noticed the roof, the valley on the back of the roof. And I was wondering if I could get Henry, to come and either look at it. It is coming apart. The valley is coming apart. The ice is pushing off one side and it's lifting the steel on the other side.
Is this on a municipal building?
Yes. We just noticed it the other day, and I've been wanting to mention it before I forget. And I thought of you the other day after you left, and I forgot to mention it to you. So, I mean, I guess you'd probably have to get the contractor too, but I would just like your opinion, Henry, to look at it.
Yeah, Heidi, reach out to the roofing contractor, please, and advise him of that situation and ask him to come and look at that. And Henry, yes, if you could give us your opinion as well, that would be wonderful.
I will stop in sometime. But again, it's definitely, being a new roof like that, definitely get a hold of the contractor.
Oh,
I
yes.
have to believe that he would be more than willing to come down, take a look and take care of that.
Yes.
Are we still getting a lot of ice buildup?
Yes. And I think there is gonna, in my opinion, we may have to do something to get the ice this year. I don't know if it has cleaned out a few times, but it just a massive amount of ice in there right now. And like I say, one valley is pushing on the other and it's lifting the tin up. You can put your hand right underneath it.
Oh, that ain't good.
Yeah. And that's one of the, I guess, I'm not going to say it's the downfall, but one of the situations of a standing seam roof is the way that is made. If you do have any amount of ice,
okay, yeah,
it's going to be a little bit more problematic.
Right. I'd never seen it happen like that before, and we just happened to see it. It may have happened before too, and I didn't notice it, but.
I'm going to say the old roof had some of it, but probably not to the extent that you're talking about right now.
Yep.
And of course, with all this COVID, not a lot of us have been hanging around the building, so nobody noticed it except for the highway.
Gonna keep your head up.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I kind of break the icicles every now and then when they start hanging 6 to 8 feet. I leave them hanging.
Yeah. And I'm still a little bit concerned why there's so much heat loss in that building.
Yeah, and we insulated that as well.
Yeah, and I mean, you have to look at it. I don't know if it's so much of a heat loss, I guess. I mean, especially this is on the back side, so it does get sun. So with the color, it's going to melt. The straight part of the roof slides off, but them valleys never seem to clean out.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll have to address that right off. We paid the contract on that roof, so I'd like to see some swift and appropriate action. Okay, anything else before we leave the regular meeting? Okay. Okay. Then I would entertain a motion to exit the regularly scheduled select board meeting and enter into executive with Heidi Birch Valenta in order to discuss a personnel matter.
And Shelley LaRush, please.
And Shelley LaRush as well. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you everyone for joining us.